Noodle away, son, noodle away. Well, this is a guitar that was all over the internet about 5 years ago. People, there are probably 100 videos on these guitars on YouTube, most of which are old. It's kind of old news now, but I've been wanting to check one of these out, and I'm not paying a lot for them, so I got this cheap. This is a Jameson, a RW Jameson. Thinline acoustic. I don't know the model number, it's not in here. But these were all over Amazon, and they're still kind of all over eBay, and I'm wondering if people are trying to sell off the stock that they couldn't sell, if that's the case. But anyway, these were sort of put out there as being some kind of wonder bargain, almost a bit like what we're seeing with Glary and what we're seeing with Firefly and what we're seeing with other brands. Well, these Jameson guitars were being raved about. I sat through about 6 or 7 videos on these. They do all different colors. They're all bursts, or there's a natural one. And a lot of people saying how great it was, how great it sounded, what a great bargain it was for $100. I don't think that's aged well. I think there's a lot more that competes with it now, say 4 or 5 years on. I don't hear so much about these Jameson guitars anymore because there are probably 10, 12 other brands that are putting out guitars, around $100, $80, $90, $100 that are as good as or probably better than what this is. So this is one of those thin lines, and I have to say it has what the thin line sound. Acoustically, it sounds a lot like a cheap parlor guitar that I had recently. Not much volume, and I'm not going to do the electronics for you because it's a waste of time, but these are weak electronics. It's just a proprietary preamp, passive preamp that's in there. Just 2 controls, 2 sliders. You have to turn your amp up a lot to get any sound out of this. It's very quiet. I don't think it's gig worthy. I did watch a couple of people that bought these and put their own preamps using the same piezo pickup, just putting an upgraded preamp in. So that's a possibility. But then you make this guitar a 160, 170 guitar, and I just think there's better stuff out there at that price range. But anyway, the problem I have with this guitar is that the neck isn't that great. It needed tons of work. The frets were awful. The neck isn't that great. I've pretty much had to take the saddle all the way down just to get the action playable. It's now fairly straight with just the right amount of relief in it. It's playable, but it's not great. It'll do. You can set this up. It'll make a guitar for you, but is it up to the praise that I've heard on all the videos on YouTube? No, I don't think so. I think there are probably 4 or 5 companies that have sprung out in the last 2 or 3 years that are out making this particular guitar. I also think the Thinline guitars have sort of dropped away lately. A couple of years ago it seemed like there were lots of them. But I don't see this Dreadnought Thinline as much anymore. But anyway, I just thought I'd look at one. I got it cheap. I set it up. I'll sell it to a kid that doesn't have much money, or trade it for something, I don't know. But I've been hearing about RW Jameson guitars for a long time, and I just wanted to see what they're about. It's competently made. I think it is one of those basswood jobs. I can see the slab cut. I don't know if you'll pick it up, but you can see the slab pattern on the back. I'm pretty sure it's probably basswood. The top may be spruce ply. I do see a horizontal grain, so you might have some spruce ply here. Very light rosewood board. It is bound, but boy do they need a lot of work. They really need a lot of work, and the electronics in these things aren't worth a damn, in my opinion. So yeah, take that for what it is. I know you can buy these in blowout sales for about $80, $90 probably. I'm not sure if you can get them in the UK. Or you can buy, I think the new ones are about $120, something like that. Just be prepared to do a lot of work on these if you get one. And also, I would say there are alternatives on the market now that I think are probably better made, better instruments, better sounding instruments than this one. But anyway, there you go. Finally got my hands on an R.W. Jameson guitar, and can't wait to get my hands off it. No, I'm just kidding. It's all right. It's just doesn't really wow me in any way, shape, or form. It is a $100 guitar, though. You have to bear that in mind. I just think there's better out there. All right, folks. See you next time.